So I have to lane against Juggernaut and Dazzle. Dazzle is one of the strongest hard supports on the lane. He has good base attack time, he has high base damage, he has this slow that he can reapply and really bully the enemy out of lane. He's now paired up with a Juggernaut, who has by far the best level 1 damage spell in the entire game, and it is a very high threat for any offlane. Now our offlane is Mars and Clockwork, and Mars Clockwork, 2 melee heroes. If they are caught out of position even a little bit, they will be slowed into spin, and either they fall very low HP or they die instantly. So this is like the Juggernaut's and Dazzle's plan, and I will talk about how I basically nullify this even before the game starts. And the way I do this, I'm actually playing the 4 position here, being the Clockwork. And when the game starts, I run down this lane, and the first thing I do is I block this enemy camp. And this is very important for reasons I will give you later. I'm now positioning, I'm pinging actually, and talking to my team what I want to do. I just want to stand here and block this wave. And you might know this trick, but I want to show you how much impact it actually has. Okay, so we skip forward a bit. We see that nobody is at our rune, so I suppose that their rune is free as well. And we take it, but this doesn't really matter. What matters is that we now block this wave. And what will happen while we block this wave is that his wave will run under tower. That means that it will die very quickly, and the next wave will meet in front of our tower, and this will favor us in lane. So what we need to do is we can just ignore this wave because it's going to die anyway, and we just walk back to the tower. My Mars is actually doing like a little bit of shenanigans running around here. No need for him to do this, he doesn't need to play here at all. He can just run with me to tower, so he gets like a bit of a rest. And now we have the wave in front of our tower. And this was very comfortable for us, because if they now go on us, we can just retreat into tower. Since they don't have any aggressive potential, I can actually go in them and bait out spells. So we see this Juggernaut stepping up here, and I just going to press my Q, and he's kind of feeling awkward, so he just spins. And we have literally like 100 units to walk back into tower, and this spin is essentially completely useless. And we now have a Mars who, as you can see, he right now doesn't have any last hit, so how is this good? Because this guy has 6. But Mars can now freely farm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creeps that would have been otherwise right in front of this tower, and be really difficult to take. If you, as I said before, if you get caught out of position, they chase you down all the way, and I cannot do anything against it being a Clockwork. So it could have been a very difficult lane, but because of this one simple trick that we pulled off before the game started, it put the wave in an amazing position. Now my next objective is to keep the wave where it is, and in order to do so, I need to go contest if he wants to pull here or wants to deward here, or you can even pull with this camp and pull it over here. I think he actually ended up dewarding it himself, so I didn't actually need to worry about it. But this is like my instinct, to walk over at the Dazzle and make sure that he does not pull the wave. While past favor is still looking at this replay, I want to say thank you for watching this video. I would love for you to subscribe and like it. It helps me grow, and if you want to have my coaching, DM me on Discord. I love to hear from you. Okay, and even still the wave is in a good position. And all we need to do, the Mars and me, is to just keep chilling here. We don't need to fight them because they will be stronger than us in fight, and we just last hit, and we will like not stomp this lane, but it's a lane that we should have lost, and that we actually went out decently well. And the only thing is that I'm getting impatient, and I kind of feel like, okay, something needs to happen now. So I run into Dazzle, and he slows me, and I get spinned. And this was unnecessary. This was extremely unnecessary. It didn't give us anything. We don't have kill potential. We just need to stand back here, and I need to contest pulls. If there are no pulls to contest, and we are just back here, then I can go pull. Like, there are things to do for me on the map. I just need to not be worried about making things happen. So I think this is an idea that is also new to me, that you don't need to kill people in lane in order to win a lane. If you have a better, if you have better results in lane that you're supposed to have, that is already a win in my books. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the condition that you can do this with and when you maybe cannot. So against the Juggernaut, there's actually a threat that if he is here at the same time as you, that he can spin you on the wave, and you need to get away, you take a lot of damage, and this wouldn't be a play. So if you are like contested, you cannot always do this. I believe that the lower you are in rank, the more likely it is that this will just be a free block and the enemies will not respond correctly. But at the start of this game, I'm already thinking, okay, we're against Juggernaut. If Juggernaut is like over here, we need to either hope that he like walks away, and this is why I initially position over here, right? So I'm not even on this high ground. I don't even want to go for this rune. I only later go for the rune when I see, okay, this one's completely uncontested. So if it's uncontested, they are probably 5 men. And so I assume that they are over here. If this rune is contested, I just stay out here. And then we hope that the Juggernaut is just walking straight to lane. And at like second 10 to 15, we can walk over here and do the block. So the only condition when this is difficult is when you have lost a fight over here at the start of the game, or if you are up against a hero who can actually contest you while doing this. So if this was a Medusa instead of a Juggernaut, and Medusa is at this rune and then walks with the wave, I can still block the wave, because Medusa is going to do like a little bit of damage to me. In worst case scenario, I need to eat a tango afterwards. But even still, the wave is like in a good position. So you can first consider, if they catch me on the wave, how much damage will I take? And is it enough to like threaten me? Then you need to play more careful. It doesn't mean that you cannot do it, because, for example, Juggernaut can threaten it, but he just wasn't there. And if that's something that you can figure out at the start of the game, that this hero just isn't there, isn't contesting, then you can easily do this. The way to counter such a play, if it ever happens to you, is what Juggernaut actually tries to do. He's running at our wave. Doesn't really do a good job of it, but he can try to block this wave. So if the Juggernaut is early, let's see when he is actually seeing us run at the wave. It's actually right now that he sees us at the wave, and that's where he should walk over here and block our wave. And maybe you can manage that this wave is blocked and this wave is blocked, and it makes them just equally fast, so they meet in front of your tower still. This is what you want to do as the carry. So this is amazing against Juggernaut, specifically because he has this aggressive potential on you in the lane. But it's good against essentially any matchup, because in a losing matchup you want to be way back here, and in a winning matchup you want to be back here with the potential to chase them down. Now we didn't have this potential to chase them down, so we're just fine with standing back here and farming the wave. Okay, and this is why pros wave block. This is why, like, the higher in MMR you get, the more often you will see it. This is why it is so impactful, because it allows you to enable you in a strong lane to kill the enemy very easily, or enable you in a weak lane to actually get decent results much better than you were expecting. And the only thing that I want to point out is that there is like the potential to become impatient and feel like we aren't trading, we aren't hitting each other, maybe I should go for something, which is exactly what happens like with me going over here. But it's not necessary, we can just chill. You supports, you can go pull a camp, and you course just lay back, especially against a Juggernaut who can run you down. Juggernaut Dazzle, very scary lane, but not anymore, because we are right here. Okay, so initially I thought that I would end this video here, but I actually had another situation where we were in a winning lane when we did the same thing, and it made a huge difference. Also, the audio might be a bit different because I got a microphone in the meantime while recording this video now. So let's look at this lane where I am the Night Stalker, and I'm paired up with a Pudge, doesn't really matter, and I'm playing against Nature's Prophet paired up with a Snapfire. Snapfire also doesn't really matter. It's about the fact that Nature's Prophet does not really have a way to run away from me, as long as I have Quelling Blade, and I can run him down in lane. And the same thing that I explained earlier, we can do here. They're actually around to contest us, but we are 3 heroes, so we can still go for the play. So lane is running on a tower, as we saw in the example before. There's a missed hook, and it doesn't really matter. We just fall back, and we now have this beautiful situation right in front of our tower. And now I am a Night Stalker with the Night Rain facet, and that simply means that my lane is strong like crazy. If I'm allowed to go onto you and hit you, it will be very bad for you. So we get one hook, and we just kill the Nature's Prophet here. And I keep being aggressive, but I also make sure that I keep the lane where it is right in front of my tower. So I'm not too aggressively pushing. I'm also making sure to try to get some denies. We get 1 second hook, and this is another kill. So now you might say, well, Favor, this is only because your Pudge is getting amazing hooks. It might be, but imagine we are over here, and then there's a hook. He definitely has the potential to trap me in some trees and then get away from me. And also there is the Snapfire who can roam around here and contest those hooks. It's much easier for my Pudge, who can sit literally on the tower and hook from over there. So it makes his hooking job easier, and it makes his retreat much harder. So now we have the lane in a good position, and we killed the Nature's Prophet twice. So he can come back to lane, being smoked running here, because he doesn't have level 2 yet. And I will be super farmed, and I will still have the wave in a decent position, where if I catch him here, there's still like ways to run back to tower. And again, I make sure to pull the wave further to me as far as possible. And you see how I don't even need to kill him, I just walk at him and he needs to go. Here again, I think this is really beautiful. So I'm gonna go back a bit. So we're on our lane and we see this guy, and we'll make sure to get this one creep. And now we actually missed it, never mind. And now there are no creeps that we can actually kill right now, except for one deny. And that means that we have time to run at this guy. So I just run him down, and he uses his sprouts, needs to get back on the tower. I run back to the wave that is now pushing into me. I get a deny, I get a last hit, and guess what we now could do? Run at him, because there's no creeps that we really need to get. And he needs to go away as well, while I run back to the lane again and control it. At this point, I think this guy is just very done. My Pudge indeed got a very decent third hook, but that was also made possible because we had the opportunity to run at the guy here. If this is like right in front of his tower, no, this is not an ideal state. Ideally, we want to have it right in front of our tower, but if it's right in front of his tower, I cannot actually do this movement where I like run at him and I have like the whole control over the wave and like get him low. But here I actually, like, I get these two opportunities, getting him low, and he was full HP at the beginning, and now he is half HP. So with one hook, he's like most definitely dead. So credit where credit is due. This Pudge did do a good job at like getting the kills, getting the hooks. And nevertheless, this beginning move of blocking the wave made it so that initially, let's look at my Pudge's perspective actually, we can run back to tower. And the Snapfire cannot really contest the hook here, because the Snapfire, to contest the hook, would have to be she would have to be running here, right? So let's actually look at the Snap. What is she doing? If we are on the tower right here and she's standing here, she's basically like tanking the hook. Pudge cannot stand. I'm sorry, I'm skipping away from her. Like if we are right here, then Pudge wants to stand here and hook, but the Snapfire is walking around, so there's no way that's gonna happen. So what the Snapfire would have to do here is actually stand over here. And if she stands over here, I'm just gonna kill her. So either she dies if she tries to block the hook, or Nature's Prophet dies because the hook is uncontested. So yes, he gets the decent hook, but it's also because the lane is in a very good position. And pretty sure we can see the exact same thing with the next hook, that he's getting from this angle. Again, if there is a Snapfire that tries to contest this hook, she would have to be over here and contesting it, and if she is, then she will just die. Okay, so to summarize this trick trick is like a weird clickbaity word, right? But it honestly is something that is very easy to do, and that has genuinely so much impact for your offlane. It is actually hard to explain. The important thing is to do it rightfully, meaning that as you can see, as soon as this wave goes on a tower, I'm really not that focused on actually getting any last hit creeps. And if they had like any serious catch, I would also not be standing there. Like they have Snapfire and this guy, and I can just Quelling Blade out, and him going Fire Snap Cookie first is like very unlikely. So this is why I can stand around here, and I have the Hunter's Night Vision, being able to easily run away from them as soon as they come. So the emphasis is that I'm not like standing and fighting on the tower here. I'm just falling back and make sure I take the creeps with me. And then we're here. And then this beautiful situation is opening up where either my patch hooks freely or I can run into them. And where in the lane that we saw first, we survive against Dazzle Juggernaut as two melee heroes. So I really encourage you to do this play. It's even better if you're the offlaner who is doing it, because then you will know how to handle it. Maybe if you do it as a 4 position, your offlaner doesn't exactly know what you're doing, so you need to communicate it. As the offlaner, you can just know yourself, and you go block this camp, and then fall back to your own wave, and from there you can do whatever you want basically in the lane. Whether you're a weak lane and you just want farm, or whether you're a strong lane and you run them down, and you literally go 5-0, later 6-0 in the laning stage. Busted. I mean, it's just insane. So go do it. Have fun with it. I hope I'll see you in the next one.
What a tune!